Welcome to the installation guide for Wyze Switch. The switch that turns dumb bulbs smart and smart bulbs smarter. Before we begin, make sure the Wyze app is installed on your iOS or Android device. The app will help guide you along with step-by-step instructions. I thought that's what I was here for, but whatever. Go ahead and open that not at all redundant Wyze app and click the plus button at the top left corner. Then select Add Device, followed by Power and Lighting, and finally, Wyze Switch. Oh, weird. It says exactly what I was about to say. A warning that Wyze Switch installation, though simple, does require basic wiring know-how, and also that you shouldn't install Wyze Switch in an area where self-installation is illegal. Well, now you've been warned. Twice. Two other things before we get started. First, make sure the switch you're replacing is a single-pole switch. That means that the lights are only controlled from one switch. If your lights are controlled from more than one switch, Wyze Switch won't work. Second, make sure the switch you're replacing has neutral wiring. This shouldn't be an issue if your house was built after 1980. Cool with you if we get started now, Wyze app? Great. In the box, you should find these items included with your Wyze Switch: a wall plate, 2 mounting screws, 2 wire nuts, an accessory wire, and a wire label sheet. You'll also need a screwdriver and a wire stripper, which are not included. Find the circuit breaker for your existing switch and shut it off. Then come back and flip the switch you're about to replace to ensure that the power is off. All safe? Good. Remove the faceplate by unscrewing the screws holding it in place. Next, remove the screws securing your existing switch to the wall box and gently pull it out without disconnecting any of the wires. Using the Wyze app, take a picture of your existing wiring for future reference. See? I'd have just let you do that on your own. I guess Wyze app doesn't trust you like I do. In any case, make sure the image is clear enough to see exactly where the wires are connected. And if you checkmark that box, it helps us provide better support in the future. The neutral wire is usually white, and you need to see how many there are. There could be just 1 or 2 neutral wires, like this. But there might be a whole bundle, which looks like this. If there are more than 2 neutral wires in the bundle, you will need the accessory wire that came with the Wyze Switch. Let's do that now. If you only have 1 or 2 neutral wires, you can skip this part. Peel the plastic insulation from both ends of the accessory wire. Remove the wire nut currently holding the neutral wires together and add one end of the accessory wire to the bundle. Then secure them together by twisting the nut back into place until tight. Gently pull each wire to check that they're secured. Leave the open end of the accessory wire hanging free. Now, whatever neutral wires you have, whether it's 1 wire, 2 wires, or a bundle with an accessory wire that you just installed, it's time to label them. Wyze app wants you to use the labels that came with your switch and label the wires neutral. I don't really believe in labels myself, but Wyze app wants you to stick this label on like so and say, "You are a neutral wire and that's all you're ever gonna be." Now let's find and identify the other wires: ground, load, and line. The ground wire is easy. It's usually just bare copper wire, but it might be green. The line wire, which is almost always black, is usually connected to the bottom terminal. Terminal is the little spot where you stick in the wire and tighten it down with a screw. The load wire is also usually black, but it could be red, and it is usually connected to the top terminal of the switch. Once you've figured out which wire is which, go ahead and slap labels for life on all of them, just like you did before. Now you can remove the wires connected to your old switch by unscrewing the terminals and gently pulling them out. Be careful not to remove their labels. On the back of the Wyze Switch are labeled terminals. Insert each labeled wire into its corresponding terminal. Then tighten the screws and gently pull each wire to make sure the connections are secure. Now, before mounting the Wyze Switch, let's double-check our electrical connections. Leave the Wyze Switch hanging out of the wall. Go to the circuit breaker and turn on the power. Do not touch the switch or the wires while the power is on, but you should see an LED status light blinking on the light switch. If the LED status light is not blinking, it probably just means that you mixed up the line wire and the load wire. You'll need to first turn the breaker back off, and then go back and swap the line and load wires into their respective terminals. Now that the line and load wires are installed into their correct terminals, leave the Wyze Switch hanging and go flip the circuit breaker back on again. The LED status light should be blinking. Now that the wire connections are confirmed, hopefully for the last time, go back and turn the power from the circuit breaker off. Make sure the power is off by confirming the LED status light is no longer blinking. Fold all the wires back into the wall box, carefully pressing them to the side to make room for the Wyze Switch without pulling any of your connections. Align the Wyze Switch with the mounting holes on the wall box and screw it into the wall using the provided mounting screws. Finally, attach the wall plate by pressing it into the front of the Wyze switch. Now you can safely restore power to the Wyze switch one last time from the circuit breaker. The LED indicator on the switch should be blinking, showing that the device is ready to pair. And there you go. You and the Wyze app can take it from here without me. I guess, which is, fine. Apparently this whole you two need to learn to work together or you're fired business only goes one direction, but whatever. I'll show myself out.